Absolute Duo is a light novel series by Takumi Hiiragiboshi. It follows Toru Kokonoe as he enrolls at Koryou Academy, a combat school teaching how to use soul-manifested weapons with the intention of getting stronger so he can take revenge on those who killed his sister. Absolute Duo has received 2 manga adaptations and a 12-episode anime that came out in 2015. The anime covers up to about Volume 4, cutting out some chapters towards the end. Currently, the story is unfinished as there are 11 volumes out and has been on hiatus since 2016, a whole 9 years. I haven't read the light novels, so I'll be reviewing the anime as its own standalone thing. Any critiques I have for the story apply only to the anime and likely don't apply to the source material. The anime opens up with Toru walking to his new school. He meets a girl named Amari and they go to the opening ceremony together. There, the lolly in charge tells them they have to battle it out with the person sitting next to them if they want into the school. Toru reluctantly beats Amari, and she and all the other losers have to leave the school.
Bye-bye.
Later in class, Toru meets Julie Sigtuna, who is my favorite character in this show. She, like Toru, lost a family member and is looking to avenge their death. Her and Toru's relationship is definitely the most enjoyable part of the anime. The teacher tells them that they are a temporary duo and have to share a room. After some time, they decide to become an official duo. We also meet Tora, a friend from Toru's past. Fairly interesting character, but he has to suffer the fate of being a jobber. There's Tomoe and Miyabi, who are always around Toru doing something. Miyabi begins to develop feelings for Toru, which will come into play later. Finally, Lilith, who wants Toru to be her duo because he's special like her. You might notice all these women hanging around Toru and think this is a harem anime, and you're not totally wrong. However, only 2 of the girls ever experienced feelings for Toru. One of them played off as a joke. Toru himself has no interest in dating, for reasons I'll talk about later. Toru and Julie's relationship is the main focus. I wouldn't call it romantic, as it's more akin to a father-daughter relationship. Absolute Duo is referred to as a romance, but I just don't see it. It's more of an ecchi battle anime with romantic elements. During a school event, Toru's team gets attacked by Kei, chief of an opposing faction named the Rebels. Kei is the main villain and has great disdain for Toru, disgusted by Toru's declarations that he will protect Julie. Toru and Julie fight Kei a couple more times after, the last fight being a killing game agreed upon by the lolly and Kei's boss. The game is to decide whose fighters are better. I want to talk more about Toru as a main character. He's the generic good guy you see in a lot of anime. Really nothing remarkable about him, but I didn't mind. Even though he's not terribly interesting, he serves his purpose and has good interactions with other characters. However, this stops being the case in later episodes. He starts making some baffling decisions that not even a 12 IQ troglodyte would make. To explain, I'll have to go into some spoilers, so if you care, skip to this timestamp. Over the time she's known Toru, Miyabi's feelings for him have gotten stronger. On a school trip, she decides to ask him to be his girlfriend. Miyabi's confession is what made me really dislike Toru. After she confesses to him, he gets a flashback to the death of his friends. The person in the memory blames Toru for their death, saying that if he was stronger, he could have saved them. Back in reality, he rejects her on the grounds of him being weak. She then apologizes for asking and runs away. I really didn't like this. The whole thing feels out of character and strange. Toru, throughout the anime, has never been scared of forming connections. Hell, the whole story revolves around his relationship with Julie. He's vowed to protect her and be by her side until death, so it makes no sense to reject Miyabi for his perceived weakness. Maybe if we saw him scarred from his past, constantly haunted by it and unable to let go or form new relationships. But that's not the case. The most that happens is he gets some bad dreams and a couple of flashbacks. Other than that, he's totally fine. I even forgot the reason he came to the school in the first place, which is to get stronger so he can take revenge. Just feels cheap. Going forward, Toru just seems like a coward. Another thing is Toru's whole goal at the start is getting stronger to take revenge. Later, it turns into protecting others, mainly Julie. Yet when he's given the level 4 serum by the lolly, he rejects it because he's afraid of turning evil or something. This is after getting his ass beat by Kei and only surviving because Julie saved him. It really makes Toru look like a cowardly retard who doesn't know what he wants. He repeats over and over that he wants to be strong and protect Julie, but he rejects people on grounds of him being weak and turns down the chance to get stronger. Fortunately, he quits being a retard and the ending is quite good, but I can never look at him the same way after this. On to the animation. For the most part, it's pretty good, until you get to the Rebels. They don't have great CGI. The soundtrack is fine and does its job. The humor isn't bad at all. There's only a few jokes in the series, but some of them made me audibly laugh.
いいんじゃないですか。ハマってますよ、ビッチ仕様。
ありがとう。嬉しくてぶち殺しちゃいたいな、このクソガキ。
I watched this in sub and checked out the dub after. The dub is completely watchable, so it's up to you which version you prefer. Overall, Absolute Duo has its issues, but I don't regret watching it. There's a lot of good moments, characters, and fights that it outweighs the bad for me. I recommend you check this out and tell me your own thoughts. If the premise seems interesting but the anime isn't for you, you can always check out the light novels. Remember to tell me your thoughts in the comments and like and subscribe if you enjoyed.